Yo, what's up? For the past 8 or 9 hours, the game was unplayable. Dislyte Lens was locked. False Auto Fantasy was also locked because there was a bug with AP gain. At first, I thought it was a bug with Siegfried, but it turns out it's just a bug with Pin. So the score that you would get from Dislyte Lens and even in False Auto Fantasy Sonica would almost double for the team that you run Pin in, right? Alright, so before that, a little update. I did went back into the banner because I was too bored with the game. I went to 160 summons and look at this pull right here. I pulled 2 back-to-back in the same multi. So now my Sieg is at R3. But here's the bad news though. Or good news if you don't plan to get Sieg or you don't have him to begin with. But for those who have Sieg and have summoned for him, the bug is what made him extra omega cracked for Dislyte Lens. A few people have tried him out in Dislyte Lens and got an insane score. One of my guildmates got a 20 billion score in Shadowfire. At first I thought it was a bug with Siegfried, but again it turns out it was a bug with Pin where she could give the team an infinite turn. Whenever she casts her S2, I don't know if I have a footage or not, she would give herself the 100% AP. And when you pair that up with Unas, she could just perma-cycle the entire team because Unas can also give AP to your allies by 15% whenever he crits with his S1, right? So between these two units and Pin being bugged, the whole team was able to take infinite turns. Now, let me show you. I forgot to mention, I also level 70 my Sieg as well. I rewound my Ming Shou using the rewind event. I think he's at level 1 right now. So I level 70 him. He is still not D6, he's still D3. And I also got him to R3 as well, right? So here's my current score that I got before they fixed the bug. And also this was with a level 60 Sieg, by the way. All of these scores is with a level 60 Sieg. Keep in mind, level 60 Sieg and R1. I decided to go for his R3 after they fixed the bug, which was not a good idea. So Shadow Stream, I got 579 million. Keep that in mind. Shadow Gale, 900 million. And Shadowfire, 1.3 billion, which is still not top 64, which is pretty insane. But the rest is the same. So these 3 bosses right here, 1.3 billion Shadowfire, 580 and 900 million on Gale. So we're going to go through one by one. Same exact relics. I decided to make him a little bit faster as well because you do need to cycle his turns properly so that you can get the Dragon Breath effect to your allies, right? So we're going to do one multi. And you'll see that my highest score for Shadowfire is 1.7 million. And now I can barely break 1 billion. Because the bug is no longer here. Without the bug, Sieg is he's just normal. He's not broken or anything. He's not bad, per se. He's still a decent support. And I'm not trolling, by the way, when I say support. When you run him at this point, without the bug, you should run him as a support instead of a DPS. So instead of running this team, you should instead run Sloan. R6D6 Valeria is going to be way better. Because again, in shadow bosses, you're lacking defense break, right? And Sieg is currently the only unit that can defense break the shadow bosses aside from Metadrew. But Metadrew cannot defense break Shadowfire and Shadow Stream because he has type disadvantage, right? He's going to be petrified the whole match. You can only run Metadrew in Shadow Gale and also Shadow Glow. So look at that. My best is 1.07 million. And the average dropped by 500 million. What the hell? I upgraded him to level 70. That's massive amount of stat boost. And also an R3 as well. And I lost 500 million. So that's Shadowfire. We lost 500 million. Just like that. And now for Shadow Stream, as you can see right here, my highest score with him. Again, level 60 is 808 million. I'm gonna run the same exact team. This one, I already have the preset. And this time with a level 70 stat. And also with the R3 effect as well, right? The R2 is actually pretty massive for Ritual Miracle. I'm trying him out in Ritual Miracle, but so far to no avail. His also PvP presence is also pretty bad, to be honest with you. I don't know where he's gonna be useful at this point. So again, same relics on everyone. Again, keep in mind this one, the best I got was 557 million average with a level 60 Sieg and R1 as well, right? Now, I can barely break 400 million. Went from 580 million average to barely breaking 400 million. That is almost a 50% cut. Oh my god, yeah. If you're contemplating on whether you want to summon for Sieg or not, just skip this guy, man. I mean, he's still a decent choice to run, because you can use him for all 3 of the bosses, right? He's gonna be decent for future uses, but not as a DPS, but as a support. The 30% defense cut that he has from his passive, or from his debuff, is gonna be huge for all of the False Fantasy boss, except for Shadow Gale and Shadow Glow, because those you can be... you can run Meta Drew, which can reduce the boss's defense to 0, right? So you don't need to run Siegfried anymore. So yeah, we only got a 300 million average on Shadow Stream. Same exact relics. And now we're gonna go to Shadow Gale. The highest I got was with a Meta Drew. Again, I'll run the same team. I don't remember which one. Oh, I don't have the preset for this one. Let me set it up real quick. Right, so the highest I got with Shadow Gale is 1.07 billion. And again, as you can see right here, level 60 Sieg. I'm just going to take a look at the relics just to make sure that they are identical. Okay, Drew on that. And again, I'm featuring Shen Pin as well, R0, because of the... Before this, I ran this team before the bug was fixed, right? And then they closed Dislyte Lens. I didn't know it was a bug to begin with. So I just tried to run this team. Because when I tried to run Shen Pin, I got an insanely high score as opposed to running Alice, which shouldn't happen if you don't have an R2 Shen Pin because of the stuns. But now, because of the bug, or it's fixed now, because of the bug, I was able to get really insane score with Shen Pin. Do not get it twisted, it's not because of Sieg. It's only because of Shen Pin's bug. Hold on, I forgot what the formation is. Alright, I have the same exact relics for this team. Again, this time is going to be upgraded to level 70 Sieg, and at R3 as well from R1. Everything else is going to be the same, but you'll see the score is going to be a lot different. The average for my Shadow Gale just now was 900 million. Again, that was with level 60 Sieg and R1. And now, let's see what the score is. It's going to be way worse. Like, I don't think it's going to be even 400 million. 200 million? What? Okay, 600 million. Okay, at least it's not like that. No. You cannot tell me I go from 900 million to 100 million. I mean, this team is really risky because I don't have any healers, but still, man. The score dropped by more than half. Look at the score. Oh my god. Oh man, 50,000 crystals gone just like that. But I don't really mind it, to be honest with you, because the game is super dry right now. You know, maybe maybe they're gonna buff Sieg. Look at that, man. I'm not even close to hitting my average, my personal best. Wait, what the heck? What is this? 1, 2, 3. That's 60. Oh my! I thought this was 684 million. This is 68 million. This is the highest. Oh no. Yeah, you're not gonna be running him in Shadow Gale because you already have a the best defense breaker that you can bring, which is gonna be Meta Drew. This guy in this team is gonna be pretty much useless. He's only gonna be a DPS, but his DPS is not really that good, to be honest with you. Now, unless you have him at R4, I think that's gonna be decent, so that you can stack it up easier. But without his R4, it's really hard to get 10 stacks on the boss, and that's on shadow bosses, right? If you bring him in, let's say for example, False Fantasy, it's gonna be even worse. Because in False Fantasy, the boss is way faster than you. The boss will take like 2 turns and you can take 1 turn. Because they have like 1000 plus speed whenever you ramp them up. I've tried him in the Sloan team just to give more defense break for the team. Because if you were to run Haley plus her debuff and plus this guy as well, you're gonna have 20% from Haley's debuff, and then you're gonna have a 40% from the 60% from the defense down. So that's gonna be 80%. This is additive, by the way. So that's 80% defense down, and then with his passive or with his debuff, you're gonna get a total of 0% defense on the boss, right? Because it can stack up to 30%. But in order to get that 30%, you need to stack up at least 7 of the buff or the debuff. And for that to happen, you need to be extremely fast. And even still, because when he is extremely fast, he's gonna steal the turns from all of your other allies as well. So when that happens, you have less turns to do your damage with Sloan. So you're gonna be obviously you're gonna be doing less damage with Sloan because you don't have enough turns. Hold on, let me relic him and then I'll continue. Yeah, you have to make him extremely fast. I have him at 151 speed because he needs to spam his S2 and S3. He does not have a good cooldown. He has a 4-turn cooldown on both of his skills, and it only reduces the cooldown by 1 turn if you have the cadence stacks to max. And if you don't have his R2, it really takes a really long time for you to max out his cadence stacks. So with this team, my Sloan team, the highest I've seen is around 73 million, which sounds pretty good, but in reality, that 73 million took me like, I don't know, 100 attempts. Whereas if I were to run Meta Druid, look at this. 31 million on Sloan team is pretty sad, to be honest with you. If I were to run Meta Druid in that team, just removing Sieg and then just run Meta Druid, that score would go upwards of 100 and I think it was 125 million or something like that, up from 70 million if you were to run Sieg. And that 70 million took me almost 100 attempts. So I'm gonna do a few runs with Sieg, and you'll see like the score is pretty bad. 40 million on the Sloan team is just really bad. Yeah, I also tried to run him as the main DPS and just removing Sloan. It was terrible. He was doing no damage. He was doing like 17 million. Again, this was a level 70 Sieg. He was doing like 17 million, which not even close to what Sloan can do. But again, granted, he's like not fully diving it up, but let's be honest here. Even if he is, look at this, 55 million, and that took a lot of runs. Even if he is at D6, that 30% stats is not really going to do much for me. It's not going to make or break him, right? He's already broken. Actually, he's not broken. The broken one was Shen Pin. It was a disguise. People tried to run him in the shadow bosses, and then they got crazy scores. They thought it was him doing all the work, but instead it was just Shen Pin pushing herself to 100% AP every single time that she casts her S2, which would then allow the entire team to move. So yeah, I've done a few runs, and the highest is 55 million on Sloan. Now, how much are you gonna bet? Put it in the comments right now. I will bet my left nutsack that if I were to run one run with Meta Drew, I'm gonna get more than 55 million. Just one run. All I need is one run. And my Meta Drew is also level 16 as well, so he's not gonna die in one hit of the Sonica's attack. Let's take a look. I'm gonna do just one run. I'm just gonna keep talking and not cut the video. Okay, 513 million. And the first run is already more than 55 million. Sieg just sucks, man. I don't know how to use him in any of the False Divinity bosses. 4-bitter is way too fast for you to stack up his debuffs to 10 stacks. Sonica, he doesn't do anything. Also, Sonica is really fast as well. The only place that I think he's going to be useful in is going to be Dark Starlord Team 1 if you don't have an R6 Moroyama. Or even if you don't have an R6 Lapis, because I think the R6 Lapis team for Team 1 is still going to be better than him. But the reason why I think he's going to be decent for Dark Starlord Team 1 is because his skills will then proc the damage of Poison Bleed and also Echo Scar, right? So you can still inflict poisons and bleeds with Embla and the 4-star, 3-star Esper Hall. And then you can do damage with his skill, which will do like probably like, I don't know, 200,000 whenever you proc the debuff. And that's about it. Now, if you want to see his performance in PvP, I'm going to do it on a separate video. But here's a glimpse of how well he does in PvP. Now, I can't stress this enough. This is with a level 70 Sieg at R3. Take a look at this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, sorry. So 13 matches, 1 win. 1 win. Let's go to Beatbout. Now, Beatbout, he's crazy. I'm just kidding. He is also kind of trash in Beatbout. But there is one team that he can clear, not really consistently. It does rely on a lot of RNG. My defense going crazy right now though. 0 win rate is kind of impressive. And also I lost 0 points in this match right here. So records. This is B-Bout by the way. I don't know why it's taking so long. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 20 wins. Level 70 Sieg with R3. If you don't have his R2, he is absolutely cheeks. Without that start of turn debuff and without that start of turn Dragon's Breath, he is absolute cheeks in PvP. So yeah, it's not looking too good for bro. PvP, he sucks. And in PvE, it seems that you're only going to be using him in Dark Starlight Team 1. And for Desolate Lands, the only place you're going to be using him in is going to be Shadow Stream and Shadow Fire. You will not use him in Shadow Gale. You will not use him in Shadow Glow. Why? Because you already have a better defense breaker being Meta Drew for both of these bosses. You do not need to run him in these two bosses because, again, his main purpose at this point is not to do damage, but to do the defense break. 30% defense break is going to be huge for these two bosses, but not these two bosses, where you can already ignore defense. So yeah, that's about it. Now, is he a terrible Esper? Not really. He's a decent Esper, but for 60,000 crystals, I mean, that price tag is insane, just to even say it out loud. For a 60,000 Nexus Crystal Esper Pity, he is absolutely cheeks. That's about it, ciao.